welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with Jeremy O'Hara and him over there, Jason Cundy. No? Anything? No. Nothing? No. Sure? No? No? 100%? No. Is anyone seen? No. No? No. Alright. England have beaten for the first time Thomas Tuchel's reign. Senegal came from behind to win at the City ground tonight 3-1. Questionable decisions made in the game by the gaffer. England, not impressive at all. Got booed off the pitch. You can have your say, 03 717 22 3344. Harry Kane scores again. Anyone out there who thinks he's not world class? Absolute joke if you are. Ivan Toney as well. How is he feeling him? Morgan Rogers comes on, done all right. Morgan Gibbs-White was fantastic. That's about it. Absolutely shoddy performance from England. And you go on your say 03 717 22 3344.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh my God.
That was bad to watch, wasn't it?
That was a tough watch.
That was a tough gig. Tough gig, that one, mate. Tough gig.
Wowzers. That's...
Woo!
I've seen some... I mean, that's... I've seen that England performance before, by the way. It's not the first time we've seen that kind of stinkfest.
Yeah, but normally we win.
Somehow we find a way to get ourselves back in it.
Yeah.
We thought we did, but that was a... Oh dear, that was rotten.
It was.
Wasn't it?
It was.
That was turgid.
It was a stinkfest.
It was a stinkfest, mate.
From start to finish.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Tuchel's got to say, because he, to be fair, he didn't put any punches at the weekend, and he doesn't strike.
We're going to wait there because we're going to get straight to Faye Carruthers. She is with Morgan Gibbs-White.
Morgan, playing at your home ground for England is a dream. Maybe not the result that you would have wanted. Can you just talk me through the performance out there?
Yeah, a bit of a bittersweet moment. Obviously, playing for my country at my home ground is obviously an incredible feeling. The fans are great. But yeah, a disappointing night. Just felt like after we went 2-1 down, that's when we started to play, that's when we started to have that freedom and that fluidity in the game. But it shouldn't take us to go 2-1 down to then play that out with England. We've got to represent the badge, represent the country better than that. But no, we go back to the drawing board, we meet back up again in September and things will be better. We're still learning, so it'll be better.
What is the reason for that? Because Thomas Tuchel almost laid down the gauntlet after the performance against Andorra and wanted more purpose, and it certainly felt as if you were creating things, but it just wasn't clicking. What was the reason for that?
It's hard to really put a reason on it. It just felt like we were a bit frozen at times, didn't really have that sort of freedom to sort of play. But then when we go 2-1 down, that's when the freedom comes out, that's when the fluidity of the team comes out and we start to play better football. I said before, it shouldn't have to be like that. But we're still learning the manager's ways, we're still learning how he wants to play. It's not going to just click and happen straight away. There's going to be ups and downs within the camps, but it's about how we respond and how we act. So come September, we'll be responding from this performance tonight.
When you came on with Morgan Rogers and Curtis Jones, it did, really ignite things on the pitch. How do you assess your performance and trying to get back into the game?
Yeah, I thought I did okay. I felt like I should have scored. You only get these chances don't come across often, so you've got to take them when they come, and unfortunately didn't come for me tonight. But I feel like that was the sort of theme for all of us. We got into good areas, we had chances, and it just wasn't coming off. But that's football. Sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not. But when we're representing this badge, we've got to do better. We've got to want it more. So yeah, like I said, we'll just go back to the drawing board. It's not going to click straight away, and come September there'll be a response from all of us for sure.
Just finally, what's been the message in the dressing room from Thomas Tuchel? He was in there for quite a while.
He's obviously addressed how disappointed he was with obviously losing. We want to go 18 matches unbeaten until the World Cup, so he was obviously devastated, but it was the main thing that we all stay in contact, we all stay in touch, leading up to the September camp. because we don't get a lot of time to spend with each other, we don't get a lot of time to gel, to bond. So it's important that we all stay connected and together. And I think that was his main sort of message, that we all stay fit, we all look after ourselves in the summer. So yeah, obviously we take tonight with a pinch of salt and move on from it.
Thanks very much, Morgan.
Thank you.
That's Fake Rovers with Morgan Gibbs-White. He was a bit of a shining light in a poor performance.
Yeah, look, there's always something to come out of a game. There's always something. You know, the positives were few and far between tonight, but he will have learned a lot. And there's a lot of players in that team we saw tonight and against Andorra that will find themselves not going to the World Cup, because those two performances back to back aren't good enough. And this is where Thomas Tuchel's got to earn his money. He's got to find a solution. He's got to find a way. Playing a 4-4-2 today didn't really work for us. We looked playing fear football, backwards, sideways. No one really taking any responsibility. Gibbs-White came on. Morgan Rogers came on. He's gone a bit more energy up top. Tuchel taking off Kane, and we looked a little bit more lively. Looked a little bit more. There was like, a spark had happened, but throughout the whole game, we were beaten by the better side. Senegal were the better side, pretty much from the first whistle. Yeah. You know, the goal was scored against the run of play. Kane does what Kane does best.
They moved the ball better than us, quicker, sharper.
There's an energy level. There was an energy level. There was an urgency about the way they played. And I think Tuchel's going to have to. He's got a year till the World Cup, right? Between now and then, he's going to work. Well, who are we? Are we going to be a pressing team? Are we going to be a team that builds slowly from the back? Are we going to be a team that plays slightly higher, squeeze the pitch, get our in it? Because I think we have the players to do it. The problem we're going to have with that, and that's why he took Kane off and put Rogers up top, is that Kane can't really do that. Kane ain't going to lead the press. Okay, no. He's got a lot of qualities, Kane, but at this stage of his career right now, you do not want him chasing around, closing players down. No. That's not. And I thought we got caught between being a kind of half press. I saw Gallagher come out from the midfield. I saw Rice come out of midfield. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Where are we going to be? So unless you, and I thought Senegal actually pressed us well. There's a couple of times we moved it out from the back. Are we going to be a team that builds to the back? Because we didn't look comfortable. There was a fear, a little bit of fear, and I've seen that England performance so many times, whether it be under Southgate or previous managers. That performance I've seen before, and you know, there's a long time between now and the World Cup, but let me tell you, it comes around quick. You know, there's a year for him to get things right.
There ain't many games.
There ain't many games.
There ain't many meetings.
This is where, as he mentioned there, September. This Tuchel's going to have to now. Who are we? What type of team are England going to be? Because the last two games, mate, I don't know.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.